What's going on, my Latin ones? This is your boy Monster MC, and we're back again. And today we're going to be talking about the king, the queen, and the prince. Sorry, Zoro fans, this video is not about you, but I will have a video later on this week talking about Zoro. So today we're talking about King of the Wildfire, Queen of the Plague, and Blackleg Sanji, and the connection they all have. Interesting note, they do have a connection. Could be a theory, but I'm starting to get the vibe that they're all interlocked. But let's first talk about the translation with Marco. See, they stated that there was a race on top of the red wall that can combust into flames. And the French translation was saying that a race on top of the red line that can control and manipulate fire. The two translations, yes, they're basically opposite ends of the spectrum because they mean two completely different things. Being able to combust into flames and control and manipulate flames are literally two different things. But I'm going to go on the record saying that it's more or less controlling and manipulating flames. But the red wall statement means a lot to me because the fact that it's stated as red wall almost solidifies the idea that this red line, the red line, was 100% man-made. It's not supposed to be there. And the fact that the all blue was a thing also solidifies to me that this red line needs to be destroyed in order for Sanji to achieve his dream. But the interesting note on top of that is the difference between the race on top of the red line and the Fisherman Island. See, the fact that, okay, I'm gonna take it a step further. The reason why I think that race that was on top of the red line was also royalty was the attire that King wears. See, I like my clues and I like my hints. One, we know that King has some type of connection to Impel Down, as well as the floral shirt that he had on. Sanji wore the same exact thing in the Whole Cake Island, which almost ties me into thinking that King has some type of royalty ties. Also, his attack name was Divine Flame. I think it was changed later on, but it almost solidifies he was on top of the red line. That's where the royalty lives. Celestial dragons control, manipulate fire. It all adds up. But think about it. A race that can fly. Fishermen, a race that can swim. Fisherman karate, being able to control the currents in the water and in someone's body. Creating and manipulating fire. Parallel, living on top of the red line, living underneath below. It fits. It's crazy. But also the construction of the red line. I don't think King was there when it happened. And if he was, very interesting. Because if he was there when it happened, that means it happened very recently and everyone just like, we don't know how it happened, which means people got their memories erased or altered again. So let's just say that King was possibly later on, he was probably one of the last few surviving members of his race, but his race originally lived on the top of the red line. But if that's the case, why does King like torture and how does he have a connection to Impel Down? The connection to Impel Down could be very simple to me. King worked there. Either he worked there or he was almost like another Kuma thing. He was used to be experimented on. And this is why I think Queen ties in. And this is why I also think Judge and Sanji tie in. So, the fact that his brothers and him were all altered at birth and Raiju to basically be these super soldier-like beings. We also know lineage factors are always tied. Every time we've seen a depiction of lineage factors, it's always cloning or it's tied into animals. Artificial devil fruits are tied into animals as well. The smiles tied into animals as well. So that means they couldn't be human. But the fact that Sanji was deemed a failure, but later on developed a power able to control and manipulate fire in some way, shape, or form and unaffected by fire, interesting. Very interesting. It could be the fact that he's just a superhuman like basically almost everyone else in One Piece. But who else can control and manipulate fire without a devil fruit? Maybe Luffy? Other than that, I really can't think of many people. But the interesting note about Sanji is that not only did he have the same attire on as King, can control and manipulate fire, is unaffected by fire, but as well as he has some connection to Judge, who has a connection to Queen, who has a connection to King. King likes torture. Could it be the fact that he was tortured, or he was the one doing the torturing? He said, torture-loving pervert. That was Queen's words about King. So let's dive down into it. Let's say King was worked on. Let's say King's lineage factor was taken and used on other people. Before the Mads were split up, that was ancient history. That was Queen said it was ancient history. Before they were split up, they did figure out the lineage factor. Judge did it to make clones and his children. Queen did it for biochemistry. Vegapunk did it for cybernetics, and then later on the devil fruits. Just all about Queen. Queen and King, the commanders, top performers, they're always viewed as side by side. So could it be a fact that Queen actually helped work on the lineage factor with Judge, and then Judge later on used the lineage factor they got from King on his sons? I know it's far-fetched, but think about it. Really think about it. Sanji can control and manipulate fire just like King. They both shown royalty signs. People view Sanji as Lucifer because he denounced royalty and he's really prideful. That's why he's not doesn't hit women. All that. Interesting, isn't it? So thinking about taking the cells from King and using it on other things, that makes me believe that the world government and the SSG is way more powerful than we think there are. See, right now we're getting the combination of abilities. We have King with a ancient zone devil fruit, or multiplied with the fact that he can control and manipulate fire. We have Queen, an ancient zone devil fruit, combined with the fact that he's a cyborg. So now all that's left is Dr. Vegapunk. What is his SSG? Right? Why not a combination of them all? A devil fruit wielder. You can put devil fruits inside of objects. A devil fruit wielder, an ability holder, and a humanoid. So a humanoid cyborg that can control some type of devil fruit power and another thing. No, some type of a humanoid cyborg who has the ability to control something like a devil fruit, coupled with the fact that he is a devil fruit. Like he has a devil fruit. I think I said that right. They have a devil fruit, they're a humanoid cyborg, and they have an ability like they have a devil fruit. So they have a devil fruit and an ability. So 2. And that's what's so interesting about me, because I feel like that's the thing that's going forward. We're going to see people with a combination of powers. Like with Sengoku, he has a mythical zone Daibutsu. Not only did he have the buff of being an actual zone, but he also gained the ability of being able to control shockwaves. So that's the next step. SSG, mythical zone. They're going to be like mythical zone type of beings. And the SSG is artificial, and then we can get the real ones later on. That's my theory. That's my thought. But back to the connection between Queen, and King, and Sanji. The reason why I think Whole Cake Island happened, yes, was to introduce Judge, German 66, Big Mom, the commanders, and the level of how Yonkos are. I get it. But now moving forward, I think the introduction to Whole Cake Island was the stepping stone for Sanji's character. Yes, Sanji didn't want to put the crew and Zeph at risk, but now he's able to do that with Robin, so that shows character growth right there. But now we still need a little bit more. Because the thing is, now that we have King, Sanji, and Queen in the same place, the fact we don't have Vegapunk, we're going to get the backstories on them from Queen. We're going to understand a little bit more about Kaido from King and Queen. We're going to get a little bit of Kaido's, but the thing is, that's why I would think what's going to happen is the Yamato backstory coupled with the Queen King backstory. I think they're all interlocked, and I think that's also going to help Sanji. It's going to be a thing that we're gonna find out that Queen has a connection to Sora. It's just going to happen. It just doesn't make sense that Sora was able to get the medicine to reverse what the judge did from a normal person. Like, no normal doctor is going to have the information and knowledge to do that. The only people will be Dr. Vegapunk, Queen, maybe Caesar, Dado Caesar, or Lindbergh. Maybe Lindbergh. We don't know if Lindbergh has a connection to them, but I'm just going to go on a limb and say, yeah, he probably does. But the thing I keep talking about is the connection between King and Sanji, and then maybe the fact that Sanji was deemed a failure, but he was the only one to truly digest or truly be able to use the lineage factor from King, or King's race at least. And that's why he's able to control and manipulate fire. And the thing is that King has only fought Sanji directly when he saw him with the raid suit. King has not seen Sanji be able to control and manipulate fire yet himself. And this is the first time he actually saw it with Queen. Maybe off screen he used it, maybe. But now we're going to see the forefront of Sanji using Mutant Shot. King's gonna be like, hold on. It's a little pretty interesting. So not only does King have a connection with Sanji because the red line needs to be destroyed, creating all blue, King possibly has a connection because he's royalty just like Sanji is. Can control and manipulate fire like Sanji can. King can fly, so can Sanji. It's a lot. It's a lot of ties. And maybe when we find out that Sanji most likely has the lineage factor of said being in him, it's going to be interesting. And when you want to take it a step further, right? Yonji, Niji, Ichiji, maybe not Raiju, but those three, they're said to show no emotion. They don't have emotion. They don't really have human emotions. And they almost like laugh at the fact of bullying and torturing other people. King's the same way. King doesn't show emotion, but he shows like the enjoyment out of torturing and bullying other people. That's what he does. It's interesting. So the fact that it may be the fact that Judge and Queen and King all worked on the remnants of King's race. The remnants of King's race in order to create the lineage factor. And that's going to later on be used for Sanji's overall development to propel him forward. And the reason why I think it's going to be used for Sanji to propel forward is because Sanji's going to learn more things about how he was created, how his brother and sister were created, and why they are the way they are, the powers he has, and the things his mother went to do, or mother did, in order for him to survive. Yes, I think he already knows that his mother took the medication in order to do that, but learning that it was from Queen changes everything. Because the thing is, Queen is a sadistic person too, and Queen may use that very thing against Sanji. And this is why Sanji is so important in this fight, because his hell memories, the actual catalyst for Sanji's hell memories and its Conqueror's Haki blooming, will be the fact of the matter of Queen saying something and also King being involved. It may be a thing that King actually fights Sanji, but Sanji's bloom is going to happen with Queen. But I do enjoy it. The interlocked storyline that they could have, which would be so exponential for the story, because not only will we get the backstory, but we'll learn more about what happened with Sanji and what happened with King's race. I think they're all going to be tied together, and I can't wait. But like I said, this was a quick video, just my little observation of what happened in that chapter I wanted to talk about. But like I said at the end of every single video, tell your friends, your family, your loved ones, bring them in here. Well, I don't say that, that's for my stream. But for my YouTube videos, I say make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, and the bell button to come back next time and remain enlightened, y'all. Till next time, peace.